video, we are going to unpack how my client went from unblocked to constant communication. So stay tuned.
Hey lovelies, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Tia.
And I'm Leah.
And we're your manifestation sisters, helping you master your mind to manifest your desires. Before we jump in, we want you guys to know that we have currently got a flash sale to celebrate your support and you guys as our amazing community of up to 30% off all our digital products and services. For the first time ever, we have actually put our coaching services on sale. So if you're sitting there, you're thinking, oh my God, I want to get coaching with you guys at a special price, get in before the sale ends. You can do so by clicking the description box below to find out more. Let's jump in.
So how did my client go from being blocked and her blocking her specific person to then being unblocked and now in consistent communication? And what I truly want everyone to understand here, and this is what I told her, is how do you expect someone to show up as a new version of themselves if you keep them in a version of themselves that is old creation? Because you are then holding them in a space of you not being with this person. So I did say to her, you can either unblock them, but at this time she wasn't ready to do that, which is fine. And then also I said to her, maybe a bridge of events will unfold where, you know, you might run into each other, or they message you off some other form of social media, or their friend message you, or whatever. It doesn't matter how it comes about, but what the meaning here and what the truth was is dropping that old story that you've got attached to this person because you have a history, you know. And it's really about undetaching and deciding within yourself what truly it is you want in this relationship. Who would you be as this version of you in this relationship? What would be happening between you and this person if you were already in consistent communication, if you were already in a loving relationship? You're not going to have the person blocked, you're not going to be blocked, and you're going to be having favourable stories and assumptions about yourself in relation to this person.
Exactly. That was essentially the shift she made that shifted her reality. Manifesting your SP, manifesting changes in your 3D can be instant because you're creating that instantness within yourself. There is no separation between you and your desires. When you let go of an old story, and this is the key to things shifting fast and you seeing the changes that you want to see, it's all coming from you, your perspective, your assumptions, and the stories that you want to continue to play internally. There comes a time, and we get this a lot, where you're in that, like, you're in between a rock and a hard place. You know what it is that you want consciously, but subconsciously you keep playing the old stories, going over memories of the past and what's currently going on in your 3D. You have to make that inner choice with yourself to go all in on that which you want and not keep saturating yourself and anchoring yourself with past thoughts, memories, versions of people that you don't want to continue to experience. Essentially, like you've got your foot on the gas and the brake at the same time and you're going nowhere, but expecting yourself to be further along than you are. When you're doing that, you're essentially keeping yourself stuck in the reality where you don't have what it is you want. In the reality where you're playing the narratives and the old versions of them, SP, in your mind over and over again, but wondering in your 3D why you're not getting a different result. It always comes from you making that choice, making that decision to not keep lugging the past and bring it into your present.
Exactly, because when you decide that you want to manifest SP, but then you're not sure of how the communication is going to come back because you blocked them and they've blocked you, and then, you know, you have to see it from a different lens. And after this session, what actually happened was, because we had another session after this, and she came in and said, you know what, I went out and I actually bumped into my specific person and he gave me a compliment, but that was really it. And then she kind of went on with whatever she was doing, and then she actually got a message from like another number saying, can we unblock each other? Which she was like, oh my God, like you were totally right, like the meaning I was given to it and things like that. And that's how they got back in communication, and now they're in consistent communication. But what happened there, it was the shift in the meaning she was giving to things, because in order for her to be back in communication, she had to now see her specific person in a different way. Not worry about how it was going to come about, but just know that, okay, I'm going to continue to work on me, focus on my stories, changing the story of me and him, because she didn't want to be the one to reach out first, which is fair enough. Sometimes you can be, sometimes you don't have to. You don't have to worry about how the bridge unfolds. You don't have to worry about how it unfolds. You just know that it will eventually. But that was just her bridge of events. And now being in the consistent communication again, what's happened is she shifted her focus back to herself, knowing that she's someone who is worthy of consistent communication, someone who knows that's a normal, natural thing for, seeing herself as someone that's worthy of love, seeing herself as someone that is always committed to by the person they want, also holding favourable stories about herself in relation to her recipe, and like Tia said, letting go of that old baggage, letting go of that old story, letting go of those old narratives, because you can't keep bringing that forward, and then also living in the wish fulfilled of being with your specific person and wanting that relationship at the same time.
Yeah, you can't serve two masters essentially. You're even having, like we always say, of that which you want, or the not having. There comes a time when you'd establish that which you want, you have to let go of the old self. And that old self has the attachments of the past versions of that, of the past 3D circumstances, of the way that that person done you wrong and they made you feel, and you're holding that on. And when you hold on to them feelings, it keeps you permeating and being that version of you. Once you let go of the attachment to old self, you start serving your master that you want, being in the wish fulfilled, focusing on yourself like Leah's client did. That's when you start to see the changes, because you're looking not for the external movement, but for the inner movement within yourself. You're living more dominantly in your imagination and saturating your internal state, and you're not 3D outcome dependent.
Yeah, so it is focusing on a better story of you and a better story of yourself in relation to your specific person and your love life. And that's what we've done, and we broke down in session. We was able to uncover the limiting stories and what she essentially thought was stopping this from coming in, and letting go of that old story and that baggage from the past, and seeing her specific person in a new way. And obviously now it's, you know, continuing to play the new story, and her and the specific person being back together, which I have no doubt that they will be. You know,
It's done.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah, so really that's the key here. It's everything that we broke down in the video. So we're going to end the video here, and we love and appreciate you all. Thank you for sharing, commenting and subscribing. We really appreciate it. As we mentioned at the start of the video, the flash sale is on for the next couple of days, so be sure to check that out, and the link down in the description box down below, and we'll see you in the next video.